Alrighty. How deep, how far back do we want to go? We will start with this. White belts in Jiu-Jitsu have a black bar on their white belt to differentiate them from other martial arts. A lot of Jiu-Jitsu practitioners joke that people will say, "Oh, do you train karate? Is it like karate when you're doing Jiu-Jitsu?" Because grappling is very, very different from karate. And initially, in the 70s, maybe prior, it's really hard to know martial arts history back then of how much travel occurred, but karate used to be as legit as Jiu-Jitsu a long time ago. And since it's been watered down, and I'm not saying anything, there are real karate and taekwondo practitioners out there who are doing it legit, but a lot of, the idea that you can get your black belt in either of those arts in a year, to me, it's not, can you defend yourself against a bigger person? Can you defend yourself against someone your size safely? Can you defend yourself, those two categories that know nothing? Can you defend yourself against someone who's your size that knows something? Can you defend yourself against somebody bigger than you that knows something? Like, that's huge in martial arts. So anyways, all that to say is, I started grappling about 5 years ago over at First Christian Dunedin. I had my little gym, all around movement. I was teaching 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 classes a week at certain times. It started out with just going to the Long Center when I got healthy and sober, and working out 2 to 3 times a week. And it started out with me just inviting a few friends to come work out with us. And then I wanted to make a pull-up bar, so I didn't have to go all the way to the Long Center sometimes, which is not very far, but still. I was at First Christian Church Dunedin, and I wanted to put a pull-up bar in the gymnasium, and I asked our pastor, Pastor Kurt, if I could do that, and they ended up having a room space for me to put a pull-up bar in, and 2 to 3 times a week turned into putting mats down and teaching classes 9 to 10 times a week. And I definitely was really happy about everything that I did there, and all the friends that I made, and everything that I learned I got to share with people. And it was just a really powerful time in my life, where I went from selling drugs to being able to help people grow as martial artists, as athletes, as people. Just, I really got to share a lot with people, and people really shared a lot with me in there. So working out that much and teaching that many classes a week, I really didn't have time to dedicate myself to going to a different martial arts school. So about 6 months in, 7 months in to doing all that fitness stuff, really pouring my life and my heart into it, my friend Matt Brown and Sean Fontaine, shout out to you guys, were working out, and we decided, hey, let's practice some arm bars, because we saw some arm bar videos on YouTube or something like that. Sean had a little bit of experience, so he knew some things, but I was already watching fitness training, coaching, movement, I was getting my personal trainer certificate at the time. I was just super nerding out on YouTube about training, the same way I do about electrical stuff right now. But there's a lot of information on YouTube out there at the moment, and I say information because all of it is just data. So yeah, that was 5 years ago, 5.5, 4.5. I would have to do the math. I think it's 5.5 or so. I just started studying on YouTube, and I would do 1 class a week. of jiu-jitsu, just as like a thing to work out, because I really didn't have time to join another school, and I really didn't know a lot, but I really was studying a lot, and I really was pouring my heart into it. And on one hand, did I have the best teaching? No, not at all. But on the other hand, we were being active, we were being healthy, we were being safe, and we had a really good culture there. I felt okay about it. So about 2 to 2.5 years in, I met Ray, who was a brown belt at Gracie Baja, who had gone through some health concerns and didn't really want to go back to the gym that he was at till he squared those away, and would work out with me a little bit on the side. And then we started to get more regular. And so all that to say is I really wasn't a part of a jiu-jitsu gym. I really wasn't part of a martial arts gym or community culture or anything. All I did was watch YouTube videos, UFC, Glory Kickboxing, Muay Thai fights, ADCC, IBJJF, like you name it, combat sports, like I watched it. I still am obsessed. Like I constantly watch YouTube videos on martial arts and training philosophy and blah, blah, blah. Just too much. The way I learn is metadata. I watch as many videos as I can, and I try and put pieces of knowledge together that make sense to combine to make like a metadata, a map of the information. 2 seconds. I'm doing the second coat on seasoning my cast iron pan, and it's gonna beep. Alright, I'm back. So, yeah, I mean, I would have people that wanted to come work out, and then I would have people that would want to come and just do martial arts, that maybe they had prior experience, maybe they didn't have any at all, but yeah, I don't know, I was that outlet for them, and the same way I learned a lot and shared a lot with people through just movement classes, strength and conditioning classes, my stretching classes, all that, we shared a lot. Same thing through martial arts. So recently we've been really involved with a gym in Newport Richey Jiu-Jitsu. The guy who runs that school has been good friends with my mentor for a long time, and my mentor, Ray, he has had his brown belt for a long time. I'm hesitant to talk about this because it's not my situation, not my story, but needless to say, he should have had his black belt a long time ago and never did, and that's something that he actually wants. And he doesn't care about belts, but when it's for somebody in his situation to not have that symbol of accomplishment, it's just not right. So we're working with another school. All that to say is I finally got my blue. I don't really care about belts that much. It does validate. It's a way of confirming what your level of skill is, and while I'm much better than a blue belt, in my humble opinion, I mean, most blue belts get their belt within 2 years. I'm 5 years in. There's some blue belts out there that give me problems, but fair to say I'm pretty decent. So anyways, I've proven to myself and other people where my skill is at by traveling to other gyms and rolling with people, and your progress is fluid in martial arts because there's so many different aspects, characteristics, and it's just not black and white. But in grappling, it's pretty black and white, who wins and who loses, and that can inform you on a lot of things. So all that to say is my martial arts journey has been very unorthodox. Most people join a gym of somebody who joined a gym beforehand and learned from a single instructor or a single school, a single organization. Sometimes people change organizations and schools, instructors, all that, but needless to say, most people didn't learn martial arts through YouTube. There's a lot of people who will laugh at somebody who says they learned martial arts through YouTube because it wasn't possible in the past. And you can learn so many things through the internet nowadays just through application, study, all those types of things. And I can say 100%, like, I know through challenging myself and exposing myself to different people, different schools, that I'm confident to say that, like, I've definitely gained a proficient level of ability, training, knowledge in martial arts through studying things on the internet. Like, there's enough out there, there's enough information that you can find, and in the same way you can learn, a college course will give you a piece of paper, a school will give you a black belt. Yes, that's a wonderful thing, very important, very crucial. Definitely is better than no black belt, definitely is better than no piece of paper, but all that to say is, like, you still, if you have the skills, you have the skills, period. If you were apprenticed by Rickson Gracie your whole life but never got any belts because you weren't doing jiu-jitsu, like, you're still a monster, like other people. You get the point that I'm trying to make. So my martial arts journey has been very unorthodox, but I am very happy, very proud to have my blue. It is a step in my journey. It is validating for somebody like me. It just, sometimes you do question, what are you doing? Do you know anything? And I don't know. It's been nice. People have asked me, because I travel to gyms, to know how I'm doing and to expose myself to different ideas and styles and all those types of things. And all the time people ask me, oh, what's your experience? And most people would say, oh, I'm a purple belt. White, blue, purple, brown, black, red, coral, whatever. After black, anyways. Black is like 10, 15 years. So very few people ever get their black in jiu-jitsu. People would ask me what my experience is, and I would have to say, oh, I'm 5 years in. And they'd be like, well, where'd you train? And then I would have to say, oh, well, I had my own little gym. I taught fitness classes, and I was teaching so many classes, I didn't have time to be a part of a school, so I had to kind of like start my own thing. But I'm 5 years in, I super nerd out about things, and I have experience, I'm tested, I go places, this and that, and it's exhausting and winding, and I've had people tell me before, you don't know crap, I'm not training you, because it was for an advanced class. It happened one time, different story. I was there a little late, like, it wasn't a good situation. Very high level instructor who doesn't have time for crap. Needless to say. To not be able to say, oh, I came from Zenith, or oh, I came from Checkmat, or oh, I came from Bang Muay Thai school, or oh, I came from blah, 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 I'm a green belt in Muay Thai, I'm this or that, like, it's a little, gives you a little anxiety to be like, oh, I'm not, validated per se by an organization. And so, it's been nice to have my blue belt, and it's also nice to, I don't know. Anyways, when they roll with me, like 2 seconds in, they know, like, anybody who's high level can tell you, oh, this person's legit, like, they know what they're doing. So, that's my martial arts journey. It came on the back of me finding my sobriety and me surrendering my life to God. And so many doors have opened up for me, and so many things have changed in my life, and martial arts has been so powerful for me. It's been a huge blessing in my life, and all the beautiful people I've met in it. So,